Climate Accord. Do we have any Al Gore there? Don't we have a couple? Doesn't matter. Let's do all of our Paris, start a new recording and start all of our Paris Climate Accord videos, anything we have concerning climate change or whatever. Okay?
Al Gore full explosive interview with Chris Wallace.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Do you got times on that? Yeah, I'm ready.
At hand, you met with President-elect Trump during the transition to discuss climate change, and afterwards, you said this.
I had a lengthy and very productive session with the President-elect. It was a sincere search for areas of common ground.
You also talked with Mr. Trump, we're told, last month about staying in the Paris climate deal. Did you misjudge the president?
Well, I've kept my communications with him confidential. I think that's the right way to handle it, but none of it would surprise you. I did my best to persuade him it was in our country's best interest to stay in the Paris Agreement. I thought there was a chance that he would do that. I'm sorry that he made the other decision.
How do you explain it?
Well, you'd have to ask him for the explanation. It makes no sense to me. I think that it was a reckless decision, an indefensible decision. I think it undermines our nation's standing in the world and isolates us and threatens to harm humanity's ability to solve this crisis in time. But make no mistake about it, this country is going to continue to solve the climate crisis. Governors like Jerry Brown and Andrew Cuomo, Jay Inslee, many others, mayors, Mike Bloomberg's doing a great job rallying mayors around the country. We are going to continue.
Okay, now give me the picture of Fox, Al Gore at Trump Tower. All right, you remember, folks, back during the transition, everybody out there got nervous. Everybody got nervous. This is a picture of Al Gore coming out of Trump Tower, okay? Everybody got nervous of what he was actually doing in Trump Tower. Had Donald Trump changed his mind? All the above. But we find out Trump did not. Now let's go to one more spot in that interview. On that interview, let's go back to wherever we have set up for the next time.
Challenge. And by the way, one of the opportunities for us is to export our products and create more jobs here. You showed some jobs in the solar industry earlier. Solar jobs are now growing 17 times faster than other jobs. It's the brightest spot. If we get out there in the economy, if we get out there and help to lead this sustainability revolution, it benefits our economy.
But here's the problem I think a lot of people have. Countries like the U.S., which have been developing an industrial economy since the 19th century, the argument is that somehow we owe something to countries that didn't.
Well, it's a global challenge, and the world community as a whole has to face up to it. This administration has said there's no such thing as a global community. Actually, there is, because we, as a civilization, are putting 110 million.
Okay, how many times did you hear this weekend? Solar panel, wind, the job creation, the sustainable community, the sustainable world, Agenda 21. How many times did you hear that this weekend, okay? Now, the reason I bring that up, I'm about tired of hearing solar panels. In 2008, okay, and let me say this firsthand because I was once in the energy efficiency business for years, okay? And in 2008, Nancy Pelosi and all of them, including Republicans, put all of these regulations in place for green energy, okay? Green energy. Now, I don't know where you're at today, and I don't know, I'd like for you to go check your farmers, but I can guarantee you right here in North Georgia, right here in Gainesville, Dalton, you go to right here in Gilmer, where we have a chicken plant. I guarantee you, if you talk to the chicken farmers and they tell you about the new energy efficient upgrades they had to do to their chicken houses, how many went out of business, just closed in North Georgia? How many just tore their chicken houses down and quit? How many? I don't know. Energy efficiency, right? I would like for you to go talk to your builders today, or any builder, about what it means now to have an energy efficient Gold Star home. I'd like for you to know that. Years ago, when we would go out and give an insulation quote, years ago, we would say, hey, would you like to get the option of an air infiltration package? Well, it's only an extra $350 for your house, and we will seal your windows and caulk all your joints and your subfloors and everything. Air infiltration package. Well, at that time, it was not required, okay? Not required. Guess what? The new energy efficiency laws, go ask your builders what. You know, you remember the old days, if you're out there and you don't understand building, don't take this wrong, but you remember the old days where you just threw plastic down on the crawl space? Now you have to seal up, tape all the joints. Now you have to turn it up on the wall and tape it. You have to seal your crawl space. Remember that? I'm just telling you, go ask your builders what the additional cost for energy efficiency is in your new construction, because here's what they want you to believe, that anybody that has a house 10 years, 15 years old, you are what's ruining this country. Now, solar panels. I am so tired of hearing solar panels. If you hear there is the green, why will they not renegotiate? Why will they not renegotiate the Paris Climate Accord? Because you pay the bill. If you go up to the Green Climate Fund, okay, it's the Green Climate Fund Regional Workshop to help advance climate action in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, okay? What they want to do is they want the United States, they call it developing countries, to give India and China an opportunity to catch up in the world, in the industrialized world, and we take a back seat and slow down. Well, that worked when Obama was there, but it doesn't work with Trump. And we pay the bill. Let me tell you what I am tired of hearing out there is coal in decline and solar panels, all right, and windmills. Coal in decline. And Al Gore got on there and lied. Absolutely lied about the declined use of coal in India and especially China. Why do you think they're even buying coal from North Korea? Now, they lead you to believe that they're turning these barges of coal away from North Korea, but maybe they're slipping in through another channel. But I'm telling you now, they keep lying about coal, and it's not true. China is burning coal, building massive coal plants as fast as they can. Now let's get to the last couple parts of that video so we can start into another one.
Trump won't say whether he believes it's real or not, but it is real. And you don't have to rely on the virtually unanimous opinion of the scientific community anymore. Mother Nature is telling us every night on the TV news now is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation. People are noticing this, these downpours and historic floods. We've had 11 once-in-a-thousand-year downpours in the U.S. just in the last 10 years. We've got these wildfires that become mega fires now. We've got 70% of Florida's in drought today. Missouri declared an emergency just a couple of days ago because of another one of these, and they keep on coming.
But let me pick up on that, because let's say that we agree, and you know a lot of people don't, some people don't, some people that watch Fox News don't. Even if you believe in greenhouse gas and climate change, there's some questions about how effective the Paris Accord is in dealing with it. Here's what EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt said on Friday about the effectiveness of the U.S. target, which is to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 1/4 under 2005 levels. Here he is.
Paris, it set targets of 26 to 28%. With the entire agenda of the previous administration, we still fell 40% short of those targets. It was a failed deal to begin with.
You would agree that even if all 195 nations, now 194, met their targets, it still wouldn't solve the problem.
That is correct. However, it sends a very powerful signal to business and industry and civil society and countries around the world. And since the Paris Agreement was reached, look at what has happened. You talked about China earlier. China has now reduced its emissions 4 years in a row. It's reduced its coal burning 3 years in a row. India is now in the midst of a massive shift from coal.
And then go to the next time we're ready. Those are absolute lies. Al Gore says it's like walking through the book of Revelations. Walking through the book of Revelations. They want you to believe that China is not burning coal. They want you to believe this. But the bottom line is, if the world did not want to do this off the financial back, see, this is about balancing the power in the world, not balancing the climate, balancing the power, okay, in the world, all right? That's what it's about. So let's go to that last time I have set up on this one, and then let's see if I have another video before we go to some more pictures and close up.
Example is losing 1 cubic kilometer of ice every single day. I went down to Miami and saw fish from the ocean swimming in the streets on a sunny day. The same thing was true in Honolulu just 2 days ago, just from high tides because of the sea level rise now. We are going to suffer some of these consequences, but we can limit and avoid the most catastrophic consequences if we accelerate the pace of change that's now beginning.
Mr. Vice President, we should point out.
Let's see, did he say fish in the streets swimming in Miami? Did he say he's seen fish swimming in the streets of Miami? This is who they dusted off. This is who they dusted off to discuss the Paris Climate Accord and why we should be investing. Let me tell you something. When it comes to solar panels and wind energy, keep in mind, okay, electric cars, solar panel, wind energy, keep in mind the subsidies, okay? So when they say coal is down and these products are up, keep in mind solar panel use. If you have someone using a solar panel, it's not because it is cheap. It's because there's a subsidy that you and I paid for through tax credits and builder credits and everything like that, that they're able to put solar panels. And quit lying when they say, oh, well, China will lead the way in solar panel manufacturing. Don't get caught off guard, folks. The United States is not the leader in solar panel manufacturing today. Let's go. Do I have another video on this? How many more do I have on this? Just this is it?
Yes.
Okay, let's play this.
This is the one you wanted.
But the president made the wrong decision, in my view, and in the view of most Americans. You know, a majority in every one of our 50 states wanted the U.S. to stay in the agreement. A majority of President Trump's supporters and voters wanted us to stay in. 70% of the American people. So it was a reckless decision. But the good news is we are going to continue moving forward. It would be better if we could move faster.
You talk about the majority of American people, even the majority of Republicans saying they believe in this and they want action. We've also seen this whole idea that President Trump expressed during the campaign that climate change, man-made climate change is a hoax, really take hold among a large sector of the public. How do you explain that?
I don't think that's true among a large sector of the public. It's definitely true among
Let's cut that. You can only take so much Al Gore in a day. Let me ask you a question out there, folks. Are you a Republican voter Are you a Donald Trump supporter? Are you a Republican voter, a Donald Trump supporter that wanted us to stay in the climate change Paris Accord? How can they get on there? Now, he went to every show. I don't know what show he may have missed, but they went to every show. Now, you got to understand, Paris Climate Accord was as important to them. ABC, NBC, CBS, they all started their shows under the guise of leading you to believe that the terrorist attack was the most important thing. But they got that out of the way knowing you may judge them if they started with the Paris Climate Accord, but they went right there. And then they'll go to James Comey to close the day. I don't have any more videos on that one. I thought I had one with Nikki Haley. I thought I had it, but if I don't have it, that's okay. Nikki Haley says, I thought Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador, I had that one, but I may not. I mean, I understand. Nikki, find me a picture of Nikki Haley. It would be in the Paris climate change segment somewhere. There's a picture of Nikki Haley in there. Go ahead and find that. Now, Nikki Haley says, okay. Nikki Haley says that. It's in the first one. It just says Paris climate change segment. It's Nikki Haley, and her name there says CBS U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley. CBS. I forgot I put CBS. Okay, Nikki Haley said something that has spun their heads off. Okay, she said pollutants. Now they pushed Scott Pruitt. They pushed every way they could. Scott Pruitt, EPA Secretary of EPA, Nikki Haley, U.S. Ambassador to the UN, okay? They pushed every way they could to get them to say man-made. I mean, it upset Chris Wallace. It upset Chuck Todd. It upset John Dickerson. You name it, George Stephanopoulos. You mean the president does not believe in man-made? I'm going to tell you right now what that means. That means white man-made. I'm telling you right now, okay? White. Oh, yes, sir, that's exactly what that means. The evil white men of the world made climate change. And are you going to tell me Donald Trump doesn't believe in man-made climate change? Every one of them said that the president believed that the climate changes. That's not what we asked you. Do you believe in man-made climate change? The president believes that the climate changes. They couldn't take that. They cannot take that. But then Nikki Haley here says pollutants. Well, that's close, right? But you and I both know this article comes from Scientific America, and this comes in 2008. Okay, this came out, and I think it was 2008. How do volcanoes, or maybe even 2002, I was looking for that. How do volcanoes affect world climate? Karen Harp, an assistant professor of geology at Colgate University, provided this explanation. In 1784, Benjamin Franklin made what may have been the first connection between volcanoes and global climate while stationed in Paris as the first diplomatic representative of the United States of America. He observed that during the summer of 1783, the climate was abnormally cold, both in Europe and back in the United States. The ground froze early. The first snow stayed on the ground without melting, and the winter was more severe than usual, and there seemed to be a constant fog over all Europe and great parts of North America. What Benjamin Franklin observed was indeed a result of volcanic activity, an enormous eruption. Just saying. See, Nikki Haley said pollutants. There are natural pollutants in the air that can change the climate. But they did not get man-made climate change this weekend. They could not take it. They absolutely could not take it. Let's go through our climate change pictures. I understand. I apologize earlier because I actually forget that it hides the back part. So ABC, Al Gore climate change reality. It's a reality. That's what they were telling you. ABC, Al Gore climate change reality. Okay. And that's my next one. So go stay with that. That's okay. That's the next one I was going to tell you. ABC climate clash. The world reacts. The world's gone crazy over this. I'll tell you, the terrorist attack is second according to this. ABC Al Gore climate change reality. We already had CBS. We already had Nikki Haley up there, so we don't need that. Fox News, Al Gore wants you to share the wealth. That's what they're looking at. That's what share the wealth. That is what the Green Climate Fund is a place to share the wealth. Then let's see. For government regulations, Fox government regulations, that's in there, okay? And we'll go ahead. I changed that one too fast. I can't read that one. I'm going to come back to that one. Hold on, I want to see that one. Now, they put up the government regulations, okay? Are they needed? In 2015, gas emissions declined to 12% below 2005 levels. In 2004 to 15, clean energy investment rose from $10 billion to $56 billion. We are interested in the efficiency on a daily basis to where we don't need government to tell us. Okay, let's go to the last set of pictures there. Fox Pittsburgh, let's just show that again, where the president said he was, that is a beautiful picture of Pittsburgh, and it says Fox Pittsburgh on the title. And president said this was, he was elected to represent Pittsburgh. Okay. Then we also have Fox Scott Pruitt, EPA Paris Climate Accord. He had on ABC Scott Pruitt, or Fox. I said ABC, my sincere apology. Fox Scott Pruitt. Chris Wallace is no better, folks. Scott. I apologize for that. Okay. Then after that, they decided to talk about that. He's pushing Scott Pruitt. That's your EPA. Fox, this says Fox solar versus coal jobs over there, John. Solar versus coal jobs. Is that okay? I got that one. Now, I want to look at this. This is a lie. Okay. Now, they're going to tell you this is from the U.S. Department of Energy, which I'm sure none of these departments will lie. Jobs in the U.S. energy industry, 374,000 in the solar industry. Because you're paying them, folks. 160,000 in the coal industry. Really? Really? The subsidies, folks, if you have seen, and you're anywhere close to what Barack Obama did to this country, when you could put, okay, when you could put a solar panel on a $110,000 house, there's no such thing. There could be. When you can put a solar panel on a $118,000 house, okay, that gives you enough electricity that you can power that house and do everything set up at that cost efficiently without the government subsidizing everything, let me know. Because it's not happening. So that is a big lie. 374,000 jobs for solar industry, 160 for coal. We know the reason why. We already talked about the mayor of London. Let's put the one up with John Kerry and Chuck Todd. All right? I didn't know what I labeled there. John Kerry and Chuck Todd. Look at John's face. Okay? Look at his face. What a schmuck. I had to go out there. What a schmuck. John Kerry. What a schmuck. All right? And you know, that's the best Chuck Todd could do. John Kerry had to get off his bicycle and come in there and say, you know what? We worked so hard to do everything we could to actually bring the U.S. into the world, and Donald Trump is dismantling it on a daily basis. I am your host. When we come back, we're going to switch to Comey. I think this is probably the best segment I have to do today. James Comey, we'll talk about your property taxes and Confefe. Confefe, is that what he said? So we'll be back right after these messages.